What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to EM. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well. Got a little bit of a graphic glitch there, but we're going to ignore that. Something new. Flying boat. Yep, that is something new. That is something new indeed. So today we're going to be flying the Latecoere. Le Latecoere? Latecoere? Oh my god. Don't make me say this name too many times, but it's called the Latecoere 631. I think that's just going to be the live stream right here, me trying to say the name. But yeah. The Latecoere 631, the French seaplane, or rather it was called a flying boat, whatever have you, from the 40s and 50s, ladies and gentlemen. It flew from the 40s to the 50s. It did not fly much after that. None of these exist in the real world anymore. All of them either got destroyed in crashes or they got scrapped. None of them are no existing examples in the real world, which kind of makes this aircraft even more special here. Yeah, that one was British, I believe, but this one is French. This is the Latecoere. All right, today our overlay is not going to work because obviously we're not flying from an airport to an airport, which is going to be in the water. Today we are in Dover, at the tip of England. No, is it England? Dover is in England, right? It's the tip of England. Yes, it is. We are right at the cusp of the English Channel. We're going to fly from Dover over to Calais in Paris. Not Paris. Oh my god, my brain is gone. All right, not Paris. We're going to fly over to Calais, which is off the coast of France. So we are... it's not off the coast of France, it's on the coast of France, whatever. You get my point. But we are obviously going to land off the coast of France, right near Calais. And that's what we're going to do today with this particular aircraft. So from Dover, we're going to fly over to Calais. So England to France is what we are doing today. Okay, now I have this giant aircraft moored, and the mooring is done using the rowing and mooring assistant for Microsoft Flight Simulator that I'm using right now. Otherwise, this giant flying boat is just going to keep drifting, or worse, once we start the engine, it's going to start turning itself into the cliffs. Right, so as you can see, we have the famous white cliffs of Dover behind us, and they look absolutely beautiful, don't they? We've also got the harbor here at Dover, the port at Dover, off to our right hand side. We've got a giant ship in our way, so take off. We need to be careful of that, but apart from that, there it is. We're just going to cross the expanse of the channel here, very short, onto Calais pretty much. I have no idea which direction to fly in to reach Calais, but pretty much you just go straight. That's as far as I know. We're not really using any conventional navigation system today because this aircraft, for its time, obviously did not have the GPS, right? Okay, so before we go anywhere, is the mooring assistant doing its job? Yes, it is. It's pretty much holding the boat in place. Let's just take a look at this beautiful stuff. Look at that. There's a castle here. There's a Dover Castle, I believe, which is actually a point of interest, and it is modeled very well. Wow. Lovely, isn't it? A little treat along the way. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Very nice. I was not expecting that. I did not see this when I initially planned the flight. That was pretty cool. The port, on the other hand, or the harbor, whatever you want to call it, is not modeled that well, but it is what it is. At least we got the cliffs here. Why would they build this right in front of the cliffs? The cliffs are so beautiful. You kind of ruined the cliffs. Why would you do that? Couldn't you put it a little off to the side there, man? Anyway, these are the white cliffs of Dover, pretty much. This side looks a little better, so we'll go this way. We'll check this out before we fly off to Calais. It's not a long flight at all, but this aircraft is not particularly fast anyway. It's a very sluggish aircraft. It was built for comfort. We are going to take the time to check it out in detail as well. Go into the interiors. So there we go, the white cliffs of Dover. Very nice. Texture loading issues as usual. That doesn't look very good, does it? I don't know what I prefer. Honestly, I think I prefer the way how 2020 drew things was just much better, I believe. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But anyway. That's a shame. That is a shame for sure. But from the distance, it looks great, which is what flight simulation is all about, right? So to see something off from the distance, and there you go, you have your cliffs and everything. Now, having seen the cliffs, let's go to the aircraft. Let's head over to our lovely aircraft. There it is. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's take a look at it. I'm using the keyboard for... Oh, there we go. Now we have released it. Let me not release it. There you go. Let me moor it back. Moored. Excellent. Okay, we'll jump back into the cockpit. We'll get, before we do anything with the cockpit, as a matter of fact, let's take a look at the cabin. Shall we do that? Because this aircraft is... Okay, we'll take a look at the modeling first. It's modeled absolutely wonderfully, as you can all see. Very, very nice. Not all of the features work. It's not a study level aircraft per se, but for a default local legend, it is pretty good. I don't think I bought this in 2020. No, I did not. Did I buy this in 2020 or not? I cannot remember. I don't think I did. I think when I upgraded, for some reason I had an upgrade. between the different versions of 2020. I had for some reason I got an upgrade. Yeah, between the two different versions of 2020, and with the upgrade I believe I got this aircraft. I could be completely wrong, but in 2024 the upgraded version came along, and it was a free upgrade for me. I did not have to pay for it, so which means I must have had the aircraft in 2020 for that to happen. However, having said all of that, it is a wonderfully modeled aircraft throughout. The textures are brilliant. Look at that. My god, look at the level of detail there. Look at that. Wow, I like it. Here is your position. This thing actually marks your position, by the way, so that's pretty cool. We are right there, and Calais is right there. There we go. We are right in between there in the English Channel, and it's very, very cool. Very, very cool. We got the old-timey navigation instruments here. Do they work? I have no idea. I've never really tried them, but apparently we can send out some Morse code stuff, perhaps. Anyway, we can tune in on this nav radio as far as I know. We're not going to try that today. Today is just going to be a visual flight, just having a bit of fun with this beautiful, beautiful aircraft. There's a bunch of wires and pipes and stuff. Yeah, we got a bunch of monitoring here, various temperatures. Most of it is in French, which makes it very difficult to navigate around, but it's not so terrible. Got the magnetos right there. I have a basic understanding of where everything is in this aircraft. As complicated as it looks, it's not too bad. It's just that it has a lot of running around to do, you know what I mean? The cockpit starts there and it ends here. So yeah, old technology, everybody. We can also go check out the cabin here. Open up the door. Not that we needed to do that to go through. I'm using I'm not actually using drone mode, so probably, I don't know. Got a bar here with some champagne. This is definitely a luxury experience here. This aircraft was primarily designed with the goal of crossing large bodies of water, namely the Atlantic, in style and comfort. Okay, so it offered much more comfort and style and speed. So during that time, aircraft like this generally had to compete with a lot of ocean liners, and this aircraft did a pretty decent job at it with such comfort offered to the passengers. We'll also see as we fly the aircraft that it's a gentle flying aircraft with very, very smooth handling characteristics, so which means that the passengers definitely felt ship-like levels of comfort, well, relatively speaking, when compared to other aircrafts. Obviously you can't beat a luxury ocean liner, but you know, this came close, pretty close, especially given the fact that this did it much quicker than a ship. I think it's a viable option for those looking to cross the Atlantic in style. I presume this was pretty expensive back in the day. Okay. Anyway, it even has a fully equipped kitchen in here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it does have a fully equipped kitchen. I need to stop doing that. Yeah, it's at the back. Not all of it is modeled. That's okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. There we go. Where's the kitchen? There's the kitchen. See that? It has a kitchen here for cooking fresh meals and whatnot. Anyway. Anywho, if we come down here, there's another interesting feature of this aircraft that I'd like to look at, which is the crew quarters right here. There's a cabin here with a nice bed. Now, I will be more than comfortable sleeping here, but I presume that the sound of groaning metal and the airflow would pretty much make it quite uncomfortable. Or at least noisy, perhaps. Maybe it's more soundproof than I think. Anyway, now there is a way to, obviously if we go down here, There is a door here at the front that we can open as well. If I can open it from the inside here, I'm not so sure. Oh, I can't open it from here, but I can open it up from the tablet. Or rather the clipboard. I should not call it that. There's a clipboard right here. Main fuel tanks, auxiliary oil tanks. I'm not worried about any of that today. So we can open up this door here. We can go straight down and have a look. There it is. There is that open door, everybody. Ta-da! That is scary. The water again looks terrible. Why is it so pixelated? I have no idea. I do not understand the level of pixelation in 2020, man. I don't get it. Why is this so pixelated? Good lord. Don't I have my water waves on high? I do. I definitely do. Right. Let me check out some of my settings, guys. There's no way. There is no way. Global rendering settings. Ah, here it is. There's no way my water waves are on high. There you go. So I don't know what it's talking about. Yeah, that is stupid. That, ladies and gentlemen, is stupid. Pixelation, I really don't like it. Anyway, whatever. I'm not too worried about it today. Let's go back into the cockpit and get things started up. Let's close up that door. Now, this aircraft does come with a number of options with it. Let me remove the mooring assistant here for a second. There we go. I've unmoored the aircraft. We can put these anchor buoys. So what these do is that it simply holds the aircraft in position. As you can tell, clearly there's some sort of glitching going on with the water. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah. In either case, we've got these anchor buoys where you can anchor the aircraft down on both sides, and that will hold the aircraft in position. However, it does not work once the engines start up when we need them most, so kind of useless. We can also have this dock here. If you want to use the dock, it's available too. See that? You can have a dock that will also hold the aircraft in position. Again, it disappears if you turn on the engine, so that makes it useless. You can hide or show the national flag, which in our case is France. If you want to show it, you can, because this is basically a boat, right? So you can kind of show the flag if you want to. You know, nothing wrong with that if you want to do that. What else? You got your engine covers, which obviously for today I'm gonna remove. Right? Okay, let's go ahead and get this aircraft started up. We're not going to use the auto start feature, which is already here. So if you wanna do some auto starting, you can. You don't have to start this up from cold and dark. You've also got easy access to electronics and electric stuff right here. If you want to do that, you've also got your towing. Now, when you're on land, you've got this undercarriage, which doesn't work on the water, and you've got the tugboat though. So if you want to activate a tugboat, you can, and you can drive it. There you go. It's literally gonna drive you. There you go. The tugboat is driving you. You can position our aircraft now that we have turned a little bit. I can use that tugboat to kind of do this. So it comes with its own little mooring assistant, or rowing assistant rather. If you want to use it that way, we can face ourselves into the ocean right here without clipping any of these boats, so to speak. Okay, so I'm going to leave that right there. Okay. Let the boat float in a little bit. We're going to start up the engines, and today we're going to start with the right hand side and followed by the left hand side. All right, so we turn off to the left slowly. As a matter of fact, I can just turn on the mooring assistant whilst I'm turning on the engine, so I'll do that. So we are moored in place. Okay, Great. Let's get started with this particular aircraft. To get started here, you have to come back into this space. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is batterie from arrêt to marcher. Okay, from arrêt to marcher. So we are here. And there it is. After we've gotten that out of the way, we can go ahead and get our APU running. So let's do that. There we go. Just like that, your APU is running, and it's like a little generator in the background. You can hear it. How it feels rubbers. What do you mean by that? This aircraft is very hard to steer once it's in the water. The rudder has almost no effect. I don't know if it has a dedicated water rudder. We'll turn this on today. We're not that we're going to use it. I don't know if it has a dedicated water rudder somewhere here. I'm not too sure, but even the water rudder does basically nothing anyway. So I don't know if it has a dedicated water rudder. No, it doesn't seem to have any. It's a little cheat. We can literally look underneath it, but anyway, let's come back here, turn on our APU generators, 3 of them right here, all turned on. Excellent. Now we can go ahead and get our engine started, but before we do, let's take a look at this. We need our fuel mixtures, all of them to rich, like so. There you are. Let's get our cowl flaps right here, open up. We've got to do the same thing on the other side. Command de richesse. It depends. If you have crosswind, you are not going to be able to take off straight. If you have too much of a crosswind, it's not going to be good. But for the most part, you know, you're in the ocean, so you got plenty of room. Cowl flaps open. That's done. Let's crack open the throttle. Now, one thing about this aircraft, if you don't keep the throttle open, like so, your engine's not going to quit on you. Now the manual does say open by 1 centimeter the throttle. That is absolute nonsense, because if you do that, the engine's just going to die. So you need to crack it open just till somewhere there, so the engines don't die once you start them. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and go to the magnetos if you want to, and put all of them in the both position all the way up. There we go. We're not doing engine by engine. I'm just gonna start all 6 in a quick manner. Then we're gonna start up our fuel pump, our primer here. Once that's done, we are pretty much ready to start our engine, I believe. Yes, we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that right now. We're gonna start the right-hand engines first. So let's start with this guy first. There we go. There's engine start. Let's see if it holds. And no, it's not holding. See that? It is not holding at all. So there you go. We got a problem again. We've got a problem again, ladies and gentlemen. Our engine is not holding at all. So we're gonna go here. Put that there. Let's try with the RPMs maxed out. Shall we do that? Let's put our RPM on both sides here to max. Primer is definitely on. And let's try that one more time. Hopefully this time it'll work. I have no engine start. Nope, it has not worked at all. It has not worked at all, everybody. So I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea what's going on with that. Let's give it a bit of time here. It did work for me before. Earlier it wasn't working, now it is. working. I don't know what on earth is going on with this. I don't know. I don't know what these are, by the way. I never turned these on the last time, so I don't know why it's not working for us. Let me put our propeller back down. Everything is on rich. Flaps there are open. Is there any equipment here that I'm still not cleared on? You know what? Let me remove the mooring assistant right there as well. Maybe that is interfering with the engine in some way. I don't know. Let's give it one more shot. Let's try it. Maybe this side. Nope, it's not holding. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. It is not holding. There is something wrong. I can't tell what it is. I cannot tell what it is. What have we missed? I haven't missed anything. I'm pretty positive about it. Sometimes this thing doesn't start and I can't tell why that is. I just cannot tell why that is. Yeah. Nope, it's dead. Okay, let me try this again. Oh Lord. Let's come to engine here. Let's refuel everything. How about that? APU is on. Everything else here is looking okay. Let's put that away. Let's try this one more time. Let me come to the throttle here. Crack it open right there. Okay, let's try it one more time, shall we? We'll switch this off. Let's try it one more time. Let's try this one. Is it gonna hold? Yeah, it is. It's holding. Hello, Mr. Henderson himself. Welcome to the live stream, man. Yep, now it's holding. So for some reason, it's holding. I guess you have to start with this engine, perhaps. I don't know what it is, but there's something quirky about the startup procedure that tells you that, I don't know, you have to start with this engine, I suppose. Let me activate our mooring assistant here so we stay in one position. So yeah, okay, fine. I think we'll be okay now. Let's try and start up the rest of the engines, yeah? Cup of bergamot tea and back. Sure, Mr. EM. It is very nice to see flying boats in action indeed, Mr. Anderson. That is exactly what we need. Something new, right? Okay, so we got that engine started up. Let's go ahead and start this one up. And even this one up. Okay, that didn't work. That's interesting. Okay. That did not work at all. Oh wait, this one. Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. All right, we got the second engine on this side working. I am so sorry. I apologize for that. Check that out. All right. 2 engines running. Okay, fantastic. We've managed to do that. Let's get our third engine running, the one that was giving us trouble. And there you go, that's running. I think the engine start only works for me if I start from the outboard engine. I did not know that, and it does not mention that anywhere, does it? I don't know, maybe you have to follow the sequence of 1 to 6 for the engines to work. I don't know, but Well, at least we got something going on here. Let's continue here with all three at the same time. The third one did not come to life there, but we'll go back and press that. Not a problem, right? There we go. Very nice. All right, we're in business. Excellent. Now, let's come back here. Go to this area here. Check our temperatures are all above 50. This one is rising above 50. And once it actually is, then we can increase our RPM, which is... Where not this RPM? I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. Where's the RPM? There's no RPM here. Oh Lord. There's no RPM monitoring here. What the heck? Alright, I guess we have to go into the cockpit maybe to see the RPM. RPM isn't really responding much. Not complaining. We do have RPM. Yep, there it is. There you go. We can take it above 1500. Let the engines warm up right now. Okay, excellent. Let us turn on the engine generators, which are right here. We'll turn off the fuel pump. We'll close up the primer there. Then we can turn off the APU gens and we can achet l'APU. There we go. Alright, all that is done. Oh my god, it's all in French, isn't it? And that too, not French of today. This is some old stuff. Plus, short forms in French, as if French wasn't hard enough on its own. God damn. Alright, this aircraft is literally French. Alright. Let's take a look here. We can actually switch this off. We don't need these anymore. The relay and the starting stuff, we don't need that anymore. We don't need any of these on. We are good to go, everybody. We don't need this GPA, this GPS. It's kind of like an eyesore, isn't it? So we're just gonna remove that because we don't really need it today. We're gonna use our trusty friend little nav map, and that's going to be the equivalent of our navigation right here. Obviously, this navigator's table represents a cross-Atlantic journey where we would fly somewhere here. That is when this would be useful for us to track where we are, but today we're literally flying where the pin is, and that's pretty much it. In fact, the stand of the pin right there, the base of the pin, pretty much covers our entire flight plan for today, so can't really do much, can we? Okie dokie, we can't use that for tracking. Now we are turned towards the cliffs. Oh lordy, we're gonna have to turn around, don't we? We can't use a tugboat, but we can use our trusty friend, the mooring assistant. Come on, turn around, brother. There you go. We can turn around using that. Just like that, everybody. Okay. Okay, look at that. We can cut our throttle slightly. Rudder does next to nothing. Look at us, just boating around in Dover. I wish we could boat around a little bit more accurately with this one. Unfortunately, the rudder does not do anything. So even with full rudder, it's minimal movement, and yeah, you can't really do much with the rudder, unfortunately. Okay. In either case, at least we're just moving away from the cliff. Unfortunately, we're constantly turning off to the right. I'm trying to battle it with full left rudder. That's barely doing anything. You guys can see a very tiny tilt and a slow turn towards the left if you pay attention there. So yeah, I'm just having a bit of fun taking a look around. That's literally all I'm doing right now. Look at that. There is Dover, everybody. Okay. We'll be pop open little nav map for us today because we need it. And okay, there is little nav map. In fact, Calais is so close by. In fact, we'll literally fly over to Dunkirk. That's pretty much what we're doing. It's so close by that we should probably do a little bit of take a few rounds of Dover before we actually head on towards Calais itself, right? Okay, let's cut our RPM now. Hopefully the engines don't die on us. There we go. RPM lever itself to max. Bayonets sorti. That means they have been lowered. Those are the floats that you see on either side of the wing, which if I can pull up the right view, you guys can have a look at it. There it is. That is the bayonet. What is it called? Not a bayonet. That's a knife. What is this thing called? Balio. Oh my god. Ballonet. You get it basically floats. Okay. I'm just gonna stick to English here. Floats. All right. Volley. That is the flap there. So we can put it down to 17 degrees or nothing else, and that's what we're gonna do today. We come down to an appropriate view if I can find one. There it is. Flaps are dropping. Yes, you do. You retract them. They're basically the landing gear of the aircraft. The flaps have lowered. We're pretty much ready for takeoff, everybody. And let's not delay it any further. This aircraft is wonderful to fly at the end of the day, right? All right, ready for takeoff. Everything else looking good. Let's turn on these lights here for no reason. Not that anyone is looking at us. Let's get this party underway. Okay, here we go. There you are. Brilliant. That green bar that you're seeing rising and falling is the pitch indicator of the aircraft. Very, very nice, right? Let's lower that RPM slightly. We can raise our... Okay. Let me raise the... Oh my god. We're moving too fast already. There we go. Okay. Look at that. They're going up nicely. Check that out. Isn't that lovely? What a beautiful aircraft, huh? Okay, let me jump back into the cockpit here and get ourselves climbing. Before we go anywhere, let me turn ourselves in this way. Look at this thing. That is the flyby mode, by the way. Look at it. It is so gentle in the way it flies. Everything is in meters as well, so we've got a different metric system. Different units, sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me today. The aircraft uses metric systems for speed, altitude and all that stuff. So a little bit thrown off there, so I'm not really paying attention much to the instruments. I'm just hand flying it visually. There is a very rudimentary autopilot which we are going to use today. But first, let's circle around, have a look at the cliffs here. Cruising altitude here, you can go about... I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. It's in meters. I have no idea. I have no idea. But it can quite easily climb up to about 2,000-3,000 meters, I believe. I have climbed, I've only taken it up to 2000 before, so I can't really tell you anything more than that. Currently, we are just coming up on about 400 meters, literally. So, we're not that high up. Very nice. Check that out. So it's a very gentle flyer. Very easy to hand fly. Come on, the trim is quite slow to respond. It's a little bit bumpy, but that's okay. Look at it. Very, very large aircraft. I do not have my hands on the yoke at the moment. Look at that. Well, these were built for a different era, and they had their own host of issues, you know. You built this 100% accurately. In fact, it is so old that you can't really fully simulate all of its original systems, like the radio navigation and its true behavior. It doesn't even exist. Not even a single example even exists anymore, and the technologies are not even used anymore. So if you were to go back to its time, it's archaic, especially navigation. You would that's why it has a two dedicated navigation stations, 2 dedicated stations right here for engineering and mechanics and electrical power control and all of that stuff, plus 2 pilots. So that's a crew of 5 people just to get this thing flying. By the way, everything this aircraft does, all these different stations today, are handled by 2 people with the instruments that are just within reach of their hands. So we've come a long way from this, you know what I mean? We've definitely come a long, long way from this. Okay, so now let's we can go to Dunkirk or we can go to Calais. Where do we want to go? I think let's go to Calais first. So let's turn our aircraft. Oh, I'm used to flying things more aggressively. I need to be more gentle with it. Let's fly it more gently, shall we? The last thing I flew was what? The ATR? No, I gotta be much more gentle with it, so let me do that. There we go, that's much better. Let's turn it in towards Calais. I overturned there, but that's okay. Fly towards Calais, and we're gonna hold this altitude and this heading, by the way. So to do that, we're going to come here to the pylon, make sure that these are engaged like so. This is heading hold, that is altitude hold, that is the autopilot master, that is the gyro, I believe. Stop that out or something like that. Anyway, whatever. So the autopilot is now engaged. It's going to hold our altitude at just around 750 meters above the water. That's literally it. And we're gonna fly towards Calais. I mean, we can already see the coast of France ahead of us. It's not like we're having trouble navigating, is it? So there you go. Very, very slow. Nonetheless, very beautiful, isn't it? Make sure I don't overspeed here. We also need to cut our fuel mixtures to auto rich. I'll do it like this. Yeah, we're not that high up that we need to cut our fuel mixture any further, so we'll leave it like this. That's good enough. And our propeller right there. Okay. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This is just the front of this giant aircraft. Look at it. Good lord, that is massive. That is massive. Wow. It veritably looks like a very large boat. Crazy, isn't it? Our flaps are still open. Technically, we should close them. Should we do that? I think I'm gonna leave them open. Might not have the time when we come into land, so I'm just gonna leave them open. There we go, coast of France ahead of us. This is the kind of aircraft that will actually be pretty fun to fly on longer routes. I should say longer by timing, not by distance, because if it's too long, it's gonna take you forever, you know. Let's see how long this thing took. Let me search that up for you guys really quickly. I hate Apple's keyboard. So tiny. Okay. Flaps are already up. Flaps are already fully up, Mr. EM. Our aircraft does not travel much faster than this. You don't want it to anyway. So here we are. That right there is the port of Calais that we are looking at, everybody. Okay. That right there is the port of Calais that we are looking at. Look at that. What a beast. What a beast. Look at what we are flying. It's a fortress. This could be someone's house. 2 times over. We should ideally have those flaps retracted, but I'm not going to bother with that today. There is the port of Calais. We can loop around and land. So, it took up to 24 hours to cross the Atlantic. So this aircraft was designed for that long luxury flying. You know what I mean? 24 hours to cross the Atlantic up to. That is nuts. All right. Let's jump back into the cockpit here. And let's turn around and land our aircraft. Shall we do that? Yeah. All right. We'll do that. So, very robust. Very... an engine designed for endurance, pretty much. So it can fly for 24 hours straight without a problem. Without issues. So that is some crazy, crazy stuff. Look how gorgeous it is, man. That's some beautiful stuff. Okay, anyway. As you guys imagined, I have not set up the views here. Give me a second here. Sorry guys, I need to set up my control here. There you go. That's the reason why it's doing that. Okie. Let's add this. There we go. Okay. What? Alright here. Alright. Let's take control. Insane indeed. Let's take control of this thing right here. We will we'll do that. It's our aircraft now. Cut the throttle. Oh, look at that. A little bit of turbulence right there. Need to get rid of the sun shade right here. There we go. It has eyebrow windows as well. Very nice. Okay, we are nose diving right now. Okay. Ooh, would you look at that? We're being battered by winds. Even something as big as this, huh? Getting a nice little battering there by the wind. Okay. Alright. Look at this thing, isn't it marvelous? It's so beautiful. Okay, we are descending very, very slowly. Let's see where the port is. The port is over there. Gonna cut the throttle off almost completely here. Going to push our RPM up. Before we go anywhere, we need to go back in there and put our mixture to full rich for... Oh, our nose is dipping again. I need to let go of the throttle every time I go back there, so... Luckily it's a very gentle aircraft. I can just do that and go back in here and do that as well and come back in here. There you go. Just in time to regain control. Okay, let's go in for a landing, shall we? So to do that, we need to cut our throttle. Where is the port? Port is right ahead. Okay, great. Excellent. That is perfect. Let's cut our speed further. Very nice. Put flaps down. Let's also put our ballonets down as well. There we go. Oh, we're looking good. Okay, great. I'm struggling to switch on sky dolly here. Let me do that. There we go. Sky dolly's on. Perfect. Now we can go in for a landing. Radio altimeter below 150. Up. Okay, I'm having trouble stabilizing this. Trim up slightly there. There we go. Much better. Yeah, much better. Got the throttle there. Pull the nose up. Oh yeah, well our trim is out of whack. And we're having a bit of turbulence, but that's okay. Let's try and land ourselves in. Okay, we're coming up on 50 meters above the ground. Very gentle landing process here. Dropping speed further. Yeah, the trim is out of whack. $50 meters. $20 meters. Okay, it's time for us to land. Put this down at the throttle. There we go. Down we go. There we are, everybody. RPM will reduce it so that the aircraft can sink into the water. We'll, apply a constant left rudder, not that it's going to do much. Sorry. Right rudder, sorry. Okay, let the aircraft slow down here. And the bird is down. There we go, everybody. Very close to the shore there, but we managed. Right? We managed to get that going. Welcome to Calais. Very nice. Right, let's go ahead and take a look at that landing replay before we do anything else here, right? So let's see how we did. Oh, this is such a powerful looking thing, isn't it? Let's try. I'm not sure if the replay will work. Oh, it does work. Yeah. It's perfect. Let's rewind ourselves and take a look at the landing replay. I took my time with that landing and hopefully that paid off. Let's check it out. Right now. Okay. Landing replay, everybody. Let's see how that went. Taking our time, slowing it down. There we go. There's the wash from the propellers right there. Just taking our time. Oh yeah. We cut through that water like butter. Alright, we cut through that water like butter. That was very nice. These slightly choppy waters are not a problem for this aircraft at all because it is so sturdy. Very, very cool. Let's take a look at that landing replay one more time because that was really fun. Let's take a look at it, everybody. Let me try this view. Okay. Try that view right here. Oh, there we go. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So let's go ahead and try and make another replay out of it. I don't know if it'll work, but let's try. There we go. Let's take a look at that landing, everybody. We'll also try a couple of other views as well to fully understand how good that was. Or how bad it was. Let's find out. Okay. And oh yes. That was just perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. I keep doing that. I keep making a mistake with the view there. My bad, guys. Let's try this one more time. Ugh, it's annoying, this thing, isn't it? Okay. Perfect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I want to watch that one more time because that was more satisfying than any landings basically. That was so cool. That was just insanely cool. Gotta watch it one more time, everybody. From this view one more time. It is too cool not to watch it again. There we go. There we go. Flight simulation, huh? EM. That is what it's all about. Well, anyway. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more landing replays, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to do that from this view, that view, that view, that view, that view. Yeah, let's try this view. Let's try seeing it from this view. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yes, EM, I will be doing the return trip to Dover. Obviously, it's a very short flight, so we're just going to turn around and go back to Dover as well. Oh, that was great. How satisfying was that? I mean, this is probably one of the top 10 satisfying landings. In fact, I'll say top 5 satisfying landings I've ever had. That is very nice. Beautiful. Alrighty. Let's now go back to Dover, where we came from. We can definitely do that. We can do that. This aircraft is not very good at flying overnight. Well, you can fly it at night, but landing it at night is next to impossible. Next to impossible. Seaplanes don't fare well trying to land at night, so unless you've got lights all around you to light up the surface of the water, night landing is not a possibility. With this aircraft does not have that. Obviously, we're sitting way high up in the cockpit for any of that to take effect. Anyway. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get our aircraft going. Shall we do that? Jump back in here, and we're going to fly back towards Dover, where we came from today. To do that, firstly, we are going to set up some stuff. Let's go back to the panel here for the engineer. That's fine. Fuel rich is fine. Flaps are open, and that's fine. We'll close the flaps this time immediately after takeoff. Our flaps are down. Everything is down. We're also configured for takeoff. Fuel should be more than plenty. I think we're full on fuel, yeah. We got plenty of fuel. And full tank plus auxiliary fuel tanks, both of them completely full. This aircraft can cross the Atlantic, so we don't need to worry about our fuel. This literally did nothing to the fuels. Okay, and we did not even fly efficiently, so we're perfectly fine, okay? Alright, ready for takeoff one more time. So let's just gun it and get out of here. RPM max. There we go. So I was trying to take off. Oh yes, Mr. Flying Boat. Oh yes, let's go. Nice and easy. Just like that, we're up in the air. Flaps up. Okay, let's come to this right here and put this up. Go. We're on our way. Let's cut the RPM slightly, cut the propeller, the engine slightly so we don't overstress it. Taking off nice and easy. Very nice. Look at that. Oh, what a beautiful aircraft this is. Okay, now that we've taken off, we can actually go ahead and turn off our cowl flaps pretty much. We need to watch the speed here. Anyway, cowl flaps can be closed. Let's come back. Make sure we don't dip our nose too much. There we go. Get back down here. These can be closed. There we go. Ta-da. We have to do that one by one because obviously we don't have a flight engineer with us. Our speed isn't very high today, so just give it a bit more power here. Let's go back and adjust the fuel throttles, okay? The rich, auto rich, auto rich, auto rich, auto rich. Let's go back there, come back. Make sure that our pitch is good enough. Go back. One more time. Put this down here, down here, down here. There should be controls for this on the clipboard. Are there controls for this on the clipboard? Oh my god, no, I'm spending too much time here. Oops, sorry. There we go. They should have controls for the propeller and thing on the clipboard. Do they have it? No, just the electronics. So we don't have... Oh, that's it. Okay, fine. Alright, let's begin a gentle climb and let's turn towards Dover now as well. Let's do that. There we go, everybody, leaving behind Calais. Should we take a look around Calais? You know what, let's turn around a little bit. Take a look at Calais before we head on towards Dover. So let's turn around a little steeper here. Take a look at Calais just for a bit. As a matter of fact, this turn is gonna be like 10% of the route, so I think we're gonna abandon the plan to look at Calais. This is hardly the sightseeing aircraft. Okay, that is for sure. It's definitely not the aircraft you want to sightsee with, because it is way too cumbersome. It's not maneuverable enough for that. It's just a gentle flyer. We're just gonna hand fly this thing all the way to Dover. It's much more fun that way, right? In fact, it's so easy to fly this thing. I can fly it whilst cinematic mode is going on. So let me just put cinematic mode for you guys, and I'll hand fly it. Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. Came in for a quick check. We're doing okay, and we are. We definitely are. So you guys can continue enjoying the cinematic view whilst I hand fly the aircraft from cinematic view. Ooh. I'm literally hand flying it. It's beautiful, man. What a gorgeous aircraft. Leaving behind France. You know what? This is the kind of aircraft, if there was a... Is it free? Fuel is enough? Is it free? Are you asking about the aircraft? If it's free, EM... I think if you had it in 2020, you'll get it in 2024 as an upgrade for free. That's something I can tell you for sure. But I don't know how to get your hands on in 2020. I've forgotten how... I haven't really flown this in 2020. I remember messing around with it, but I've never really seriously flown it, which means I had it in 2020. Let's increase our VS here. I had it in 2020, but how I got it, I don't remember. I think I upgraded from like the standard edition to like the deluxe or premium deluxe or something like that. That's how I got it, if I'm not wrong. And it came with that. Or did it come free? I completely forgot. I'm so sorry. But in 2024, if you had it in 2020, it's free in 2024. Otherwise, I believe you have to buy it in 2024 from the marketplace. I also can pay as a workaholic. Well, if you're a workaholic, this is one of the aircrafts I do recommend you get. Now, however, if you're into deep level simulation, generally I wouldn't pay like more than $20 for this aircraft because I'm into deep levels of simulation. Not because this aircraft isn't awesome. It is awesome in any way, but it's just that if you're into extreme deep simulation, don't pay more than 20. But yeah, I don't know the exact price of this thing, so we don't know. Okay, I'm literally just flying. We can already see Dover. There it is. The port of Dover is right ahead of us. I think it's already time for us to prepare for landing, but we'll do that in a more gentle way. So we'll turn off slightly to the left. We're currently at 1,200 meters above. I'm sure this aircraft can go much higher than that. In fact, if you had a crew of 5, you could hand fly this thing all the way across the Atlantic. Wouldn't that be... Let me ask you guys something, okay? And it's a very serious question. If I hand flew this thing on like, I don't know, okay, we can't do 24 hours, not because I'm not willing to try that, but because the simulator is literally not stable enough to give us a 24-hour flight, right? The longest I'm willing to risk with certain aircrafts is like 5 hours, but with this aircraft, I feel like I can push it to like 8 hours or 10 hours or something. So what if I hand fly this aircraft for 8 hours or 10 hours straight? Would anybody be interested in watching that? Because if that is something that you guys are interested in, that's something I would actually like to do. I get bored of extremely long flights when there's nothing to do, but if you're hand flying it, it's different. And the rule is I cannot touch the autopilot at all. Right? Time lapse of your flight? No. I mean doing it live stream. I mean doing it live. Because I'll need company, right? I'll need people in the chat to keep me company and all of that stuff. So I mean doing it live. Okay, it's time for us to cut our throttles. Max out our RPMs here. Preparation for landing. Let's go back to that panel right here. Put fuel mixtures to rich. Come back here. Pull our nose back up. There we go. Oh, we are stalling. That's okay. Got plenty of altitude. There you go, not a problem. We're going to make that turn right there. And I'm going to punch our nose up slightly so I can put these mixtures to rich as well. Cowl flaps need to open up. Once again, let's put our nose up here. Go back here, cowl flaps open up one more time, and we can shut off our engines completely. Okay. Yeah, alright. Excellent. Then I could try that. Let's bring these down automatically. Let's reduce our speed. Obviously, this aircraft is not modeled well enough where if we overspeed with the flaps or anything, it's not going to do much for. So it's alright. Let's try and land this thing, shall we? One more time. This time into Dover. I will get my sky dolly running. It's very hard to use the mouse with the lift because my joystick is on the right. We're very slow, but that's okay. I'm sure our luxury passengers will not appreciate fly-the-noob styles of flying. So yeah, if that is the case, if a couple of people are interested, I'll put out a post. If a couple of people are interested in seeing that, then I am willing to perform like an 8-hour flight with this aircraft. Completely hand flying it, obviously. I'll have to do some stability tests with the simulator to see how stable it is and whether we can actually do such a long flight. But well, I've done an 11-hour flight before. Back to back, not really. I've gone 7. The most I've gone with this simulator straight up is 8 hours. Plenty of time to make sure it will be enough. We'll try. We'll see what we can do. We'll just hand fly this thing for 8 hours straight. I will do a live stream of that sort. For that live stream, I'll literally disable everything that I can, and I'll just make sure the simulator is as stable as possible with nothing else installed except this. Okay, not nothing else, but you get my point. I'm gonna disable all my add-ons that are in the community folder. Probably I'll disable most of them, and yeah, I'll need to do a stability test, but once that's done we can do it. Okay, flaps are done and we are ready to land here. Everything is looking good. We've passed the port, haven't we? Yeah, we've passed the port. Anyway, coming into land into Dover. You know what we can do? Let's turn around. Let's turn around here. Ooh, bumpy. Okay. Turn around a little bit more here, give it a bit of power. Just turning it around for that perfect. Yeah, our trim is out of whack again for landing. This time the trim is out of whack way earlier, I mean way later than it should be, which is going to cause us some problems. I wanted to turn our aircraft around a little bit for this landing. Okay. I'm trying to come back in towards the cliffs before we land. Okay, there's not a lot of room for us to mess around now. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's better. Just make some final adjustments here. Just 20 meters above the surface of the water. we go. Yeah, that's good enough. There we go. Brilliant. Yep, that's a perfect place. Yeah, alright, okay, we can put our aircraft down now. Come on. Oh, it's very bumpy. Why is the weather like this every time I try to land these days, huh? Let's try that, come on. That is very bumpy, good lord. Trim is still out of whack. I'm not having a lot of luck with the pitch control here. Alright, there we go. We are down. Propeller RPM down this way, and there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Yep, our boat is sitting low in the water now. We can let it go. And welcome everybody to Dover once again. Dover is right here. We've gone past the cliffs a little bit this time, but that's okay. Okay. We've made it back. We have made it back. Time for us to go check out the landing replays one more time. Let us do that, shall we? Right. Let's check out landing replay right here. It's far later to adjust the trim on this landing. Went a bit longer than I would have liked as well. I wanted to get in a bit closer to the cliffs. Alright. Alrighty. Still sitting above. Yep, that is something that's been happening to me a lot. Everything is going really smoothly, and when you come into land, I'm getting slapped left and right. Anyway, let's go take a look at that one more time for our next view. All right. Okay. A firmer landing than last time, but better pitch control would have given me, if I had trimmed it out a little better, it would have given me a smoother landing, but that's definitely smooth enough. Excellent. Let's go ahead and take a look at this landing replay from the favorite view of mine, which is flyby. Look at this giant bird. Took my time with it as well today. Oh yes. That never gets old. we go. Coming in. And touchdown. Alrighty. That is brilliant. Let's go ahead and take a look at that one more time. I went too far back, didn't I? Yep. There's good splash sounds. I went way too far back. There we go. All right. Very nice. Take a quick look at that one more time. Nice. And oh yes, very good. Beautiful. Beautiful is, what do you call that? That is what you call say beautiful. Huh? Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at it from another point of view. Maybe this one we already saw. This one? Let's see what it looks like. Oh yes. Very smooth. You know what, let me go in here and do something. Hold on. Let me go in here and put in some effects here for FSR Realistic right now. Touchdown main. Let's put chase plane external. Let's put that on max. Let's try that. Splash sounds are great from this angle. Oh, yep. There we go. Lovely little camera shake, isn't that? Isn't that a nice little shaky shake? Alright. Very, very nice, everybody. I hope you guys had lots and lots of fun on that one, because I did. Because I did. Yes, I did, everybody. Okay, let's see where we left our aircraft off today. Should we have one more landing replay from the cabin, perhaps? Let me try that. Where are the chase plane views? I don't have a proper camera set up for this. Which one should we take? Hey, you know what? We'll do this one. We'll do this one. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, very nice. Excellent. Let's watch that replay properly. Here we go. Let's see what it looked like. Beautiful. All right, let's fast forward that landing replay and find our aircraft exactly where we left it. Like so. Alrighty. Let's head back into the cockpit now. And shut down our engine. Perhaps even start up our APU. So let's do APU first. Okay, we forgot to switch off the generators on the APU. That's fine. APU generators running. Engine generators can come off right here like so. Excellent. That's done. Primer is already off. Excellent. We can put our RPM minimum. Yes, they are. Mixtures can come off like so. There we go. Engines on one hand gone. Let's do the same to the other side. There we go. Everything did. All right, brilliant. Our APU is still running, right? We can cut it out. Cut off the generators. Switch off the magnetos to dead state. And we can switch that off. Oh, wait, before we do, let's close our cowl flaps because we don't want those open. Leave them closed up. There we go. Yes, there we go. Let's make sure that that is the state that our aircraft's in. Everything is closed up. Brilliant. Now, what we can do, maybe we pull up your auditory with a long haul flight on this. What do you mean? What do you mean, Mr. EM? Okay, what we can do now is, before we call it a day for the live stream, we're going to use the tugboat. Yes, we are. There we go. Let's turn ourselves back into the port at Dover. So we'll do that, right? Very nice. Check that out. Very, very nice. More subs. Yeah, I hope so. I hope doing that will happen. I'll put out, from the next live stream, I'll be putting out a couple of polls out. So we'll see if people are interested in that long haul flight. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Okay, that's exactly what I am going to be doing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm using the tugboat to pull ourselves back into the port at Dover. I am going to leave this live stream here. Hope you guys had a great time on today's live stream. I most definitely did have a wonderful time flying the Latecoere 631 here for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Absolutely beautiful boat. In fact, I forgot to do something here. Give me a second, guys. We need to turn on our battery one more time. We need to put our flaps up. So let's just wait for that to happen. We can hear it. Okay, just gonna do that. There we go. Now we can turn that off. Brilliant. Okay, now we're literally being towed towards the port right here. I can put this on pretty much straight or something of that nature right there, maybe. Right here. Okay, excellent. Excellent, everybody. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to today's live stream. Hope you guys had lots and lots of fun. Thanks to everybody who was in the chat. Mr. EM, as usual, thank you very much. It was just Mr. EM today, and Mr. Anderson himself as well. Thank you very much, both of you, for tuning in to today's chat. Thank you to everybody who tuned into the live stream, even if you are in the chat or not. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Help my channel grow towards 1,000 subscribers, and help me keep doing this as we push towards channel growth. All right, and yeah, so from the next live stream, I'll be putting out a poll to see how many of you would like to see a long haul flight with this particular aircraft, possibly a transatlantic flight that's going to take me about 8 to 10 hours to complete. So that's going to be really, really fun for you hardcore flight enthusiasts, flight simulation enthusiasts. So yeah, With that being said, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Have yourself a great day, and I shall catch you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.